If there is such a country, you lie flat at home every day. The state sends you millions every year. What a fairy experience it would be. He was at its peak. It's not one of the richest countries in the world. GDP per capita is 4 times that of the United States. How far can his national tyrants get? The local traffic police bought a Lamborghini on duty at their own expense. When the car arrived, it was found that it could not be done. Abandoned him directly, and the way to get rich in this country is different from normal people. We usually describe a place as poor, would say this place is too poor to shit. But this country's wealth code is the birds that shit here. This country that's rich on shit at home uses strength to prove that the highest level of lying down to win is not winning the lottery. Instead, he was chosen by bird shit to be the prince. Today we will talk about the country that once won the world's riches by shit. Nauru. He's an isolated island in the Pacific. Land area of more than 20 square kilometers. You can drive around the country in 20 minutes. Population of more than 10,000 people. Nauru. Before it became rich, it's just poor. The island's ancestors had to live on fishing until 1798. A British merchant ship stumbled upon the island. The captain just wanted to go to the island and rest. Turns out they just went to the island. The native of the island will take a harpoon and fuck him without saying anything. Captain, to save his life. A lot of wine came down from the ship in a hurry. After the natives finished drinking, he immediately put his arms around the captain's neck and began to jump up wild. The captain saw that they were so carefree and untroubled, so they called this place Happy Island. Have to say, the captain's name is a bit fatalistic, because hundreds of years later in Nauru, it really fits the name. It's a veritable fat house, Happy Island. The British have not moved any crooked thoughts since they discovered the island. For England at the time, that's the world's overlord empire. There are a lot of countries waiting to be colonized by him. Nature despises this wild island. However, England does not like it. It doesn't mean others don't like it. Then the rising Germany turned its eyes to this. Because Germany didn't catch up during the Industrial Revolution, when he gets better, all the good colonies have been divided up by these crack strengths. Therefore, in line with the principle that no matter how small the mosquito leg is, it is also meat, it was occupied and colonized in 1888. It was renamed Nauru. But the Germans came and were disappointed. Because the sea breeze is all that's left on this island except for the coconut trees. So a capsize said, there's really no meat on this fly's leg. But the time has come for 1901 geologist named Alice Drop by his buddy's house. Just look at the top phosphate ore in his brother's study. In order to get this ore, I went out and got 6 hard dishes and 3 bottles of bigger green sticks. After giving his brother a drink of beauty, I took this fossil and asked for it. When he gets there, he's going to find this place. The entire island, 80% of the place, is covered with top-grade phosphate rock. This phosphorus is not only the main raw material of chemical fertilizer, it is also the sweet pastry of the national defense industry. The value of this thing was comparable to gold in those days. And normal phosphate mining is extremely time-consuming. But phosphate mining on Nauru is extremely convenient, almost within reach. So why is phosphorus so abundant on such a small island? Did we not say it before? Nauru is an island in the Pacific. How many nautical miles around without a companion? This is the only place for seabirds. And of course, the only open toilet the seabirds will leave. After pulling after thousands of accumulated, it's here that leaves bird shit all over the sky. This bird shit is the source of the phosphate rock, but at the time, this happy primitive people didn't know his ancestral cesspit is about to trigger a world poop war. German discovery makes British regret straight slap on thigh. In 10 years, the Germans have dug up 600,000 tons of top-grade phosphate rock here. Then one stop broke out. When the British made a big shot with the Germans in Europe, I didn't forget to send troops across the ocean to rob this bird excrement island. You can tell me how attractive this bird shit is. The sun never sets. Empire for a pile of bird shit. Extended station to the Pacific Ocean. One stop after Nauru by Britain. Australia and New Zealand jointly regulated. Way to the second station. Little Japan smells it too. Kill the natives while robbing the mine. During the 3 years, the family was almost wiped out. After World War II, he let Australia take over. Continue to earn full trench level. The 4 major powers have fought to the death for a pile of bird droppings. This Nauru's blessing is really not small. Until 1968, a global wave of independence. Nauru natives watched their ancestral cesspools being pulled away by boats. The heart is not the taste. This shit is my bird pool. With what money let you earn? Must be independent. Under the United Nations and the mediation, Nauru declared independence in 1968. But here comes the question. This dude was playing Tribal Age the day before. The Blackfoot is about to become a modern country in a suit and tie. Then it was playing import and export trade. This degree of crossing is unimaginable, but independence has to look like independence. So Nauru did what a cat and a tiger did. Even in a place of only more than 20 square kilometers, there are 14 administrative districts. Since there is no communication facility on the newly established island, so for the government to quickly convey the policy, a civil service system of 20 people was set up. The main job of these people is to run errands and spread messages, and supervise digging excrement. The cabinet is more than 6 people. Each of these 6 ministers has several positions. Finance today, fishing tomorrow may be in charge. The day after tomorrow, he may also be a culture minister. The main focus is on one specialized in multiple abilities. Before that, although he was colonized by various empires, but none of the nations made the devastating dig but to strictly control the amount of mining and let seabirds dig and pull with it. Wait until the Nauru government takes over. But fuck you, we Nauru, free national conditions in dig. Good guy digging into the dead. The amount of digging in the first year is more than the complex buildings dug by the Germans in 30 years. With this uncontrolled digging, the wealth of Nauru has also begun to explode. In 1970, when the monthly salary of our domestic textile factory workers was 20, Nauru's per capita income is over $1 million. This is for a small island country that can only live by fishing. This is not running into the ranks of developed countries. Instead, he sat on the monkey and went straight out of outer space. How about spending too much money? The government waved its hand. All the people scattered coins. I don't need to say anything about school, housing free, medical free. The state hires foreign experts to come and rotate at high salaries. If you feel unsure, the state pays you to get treatment in other countries. Nauru's welfare system is enough to make Europeans envious. Everything the government does leads to the people of the island. Opted for direct lying flat. What is school? We have no worries about food and drink in our life. What's the use of learning so much knowledge? And why do I have to work? You gave me a reason to work. This is like our Qing dynasty Manchu work. What the hell is that? Men are not born to work. When I, Amar, followed seabirds into the customs, I have finished my life's work. The government and the people are so profligate. The money in the pocket is still like a baby. The government can't go on like this. The people on the island lay flat en masse, not conducive to physical and mental health. So the government, in order not to let the people be rich, frogs in a well, an international airport was built on a small slab island. Get 5 Boeing airplanes. For people to travel abroad shopping at the same time in order to enrich the spiritual world. 3 more TV stations were built on the island. Whether the people can understand foreign languages or not, the key is that it doesn't matter. It's mainly about arranging services. The lavish spending of the Nauruans is astonishing. There was once a man from Nauru ordered a luxury car and waited for the fuel tank to run out. Dislike refueling trouble, he threw away the car and turned around and bought another one. There was also a traffic policeman on duty. I bought a Lamborghini. When the bus arrived, I found myself unable to get in. directly thrown in the port. There is another Nauru who wants to show his wealth in front of the visitors. Use US dollars as toilet paper because life is boring and there is no need to work. Eating became the only thing the people of Nauru had to do. This has quickly made Nauru the country with the highest obesity rate in the world. The average man weighs 150. Diabetes, not to mention the national basic disease. The president looks at the health of the people and worries. So I called on everyone to exercise. He even went down to demonstrate himself. As a result, he ran 2 steps and crashed on the ground. It is said that they have all been sent to ICU by charter plane overnight to Australia for rescue. He almost became the first president in the world to die because of exercise. See this? A wise man asked. They dig so devastating. I haven't thought about the future. I don't think much. First, he's like other resource countries. A trust fund was established. Then he bought a 51-story skyscraper in Australia and renamed it Nauru Tower. It was the tallest building in Melbourne. They originally planned to wait until the sea level rose. Let all the citizens move in. The whole country lives in one building. Although it sounds outrageous, but there is a building that is recognized at the United Nations. Let's talk about this later. At the same time, they are all over the world, bought a lot of real estate, bought a lot of hotels. Nauru Tower in Hawaii Pacific, Star Hotels in Guam, Washington's Pacific House, and the most important thing is, they also invested in real estate in Japan and the stock market in Taiwan. When you hear this, you should know what happened to the Nauru Fund. Anyway, where are there unreliable projects in the world? Where Nauru's capital is invested, but compared to the trust fund's blood deficit, what's worse is the mine. Really? Dig? No, it's over. Seabirds in the Pacific can pull again. Nor can it hold the Nauruans for decades. Excavation and 100 centimeter mining. It was expected to dig 100 years of reserves. Less than 30 years to dry up. The myth of wealth also collapsed overnight. In order to solve the debt problem, sold all overseas assets. The government also wanted to engage in fishing to make ends meet. But this time the Nauruans don't say fishing, it's hard to get there. When there was no way out, they began to go astray. The government has turned Nauru into a tax haven and money laundering center. It is said that only 1 year in 1998 National Bank of Nauru tens of billions of dollars in assets from the Russian mob. Fortunately, the countries of the world have joined forces to sanction Nauru. It was only then that the line was stopped. But the people of Nauru, the government, has another good idea. That's selling diplomatic power plus a Nauru passport. Because Nauru is poor and he's a member of the United Nations. As long as you give me money, then I will cheer for you on the international stage. For example, after receiving Japanese money, he was openly at the United Nations. Support for Japan's whaling in international waters take baby money? Just admit it. In short, there is a mother and it's cheaper to buy an individual than a country. For example, you want the president of Nauru to record a birthday greeting for you. Only need $5,000. There are many rows of faces in the head of state. This kind of thing abounds, but this meager income is not enough to sustain the state's expenses. In 2001, Nauru offered the ultimate trick. Find Australia to serve as his overseas trash cans and refugee camps to get financial support. Nauru to build 3 refugee camps on the island. There were about 1,000 refugees inside. They are mostly from Afghanistan, Iraq, and Iran. Australia spends about 0.5 billion a year to maintain these camps. That means Nauru earns 500,000 for every refugee it takes in. But at this time, the people of Nauru can't eat enough for themselves. Naturally, this money cannot be spent on refugees. A large number of refugees were starved to death or died of illness. It also drew heavy criticism around the world. There are now more than 10,000 people in Nauru's official data. Actually, less than 10,000. These 10,000 people also include 500 Chinese cars. Their main business up there is a restaurant and a supermarket. Because there are still many people who want to know about the legend of Nauru. There are 5 beaches on the island. The sea is clean and beautiful. Everyone on the island can speak good English. Nauru's Parliament building. It is also a magical clocking attraction. There is no security at the entrance. You can use your mobile phone to take photos and stroll around at will. The island is full of luxury car wrecks. The rust on him indicates the glorious days are far away, but the press is not very welcome here. The average travel visa is 50 Australian dollars, but the media was asked to pay 80. So you should be careful when you go for a stroll. Currently, 52% of the people in Nauru live below the poverty line. They rely on the church to save their lives. In fact, today's tragedy in Nauru was long anticipated. As early as 1960, the Australian economist Helen Cesius said, Nauru is totally incapable of being a nation. To make it independent is to harm it. This statement is not entirely correct, although now Nauru has been reduced to the point of begging. But just this super small country, you can barely survive a bite of rice anywhere. As long as he persists for hundreds of thousands of years, waiting for seabirds to pull down 10 meters thick bird droppings again, Nauru will usher in another glory.